I'm Chris. That's Tyler. This is the I-71 Rundown, and we're doing a rundown of Week 9 of the college football season. How crazy is it, dog? We're already in Week 9, and with being in Week 9, Georgia Tech is still undefeated. But Tyler, how are you?
I'm good, man. This is it's been a wild day of sports.
No, really wild day. And by the time this video comes out, I should have a video already out on the NBA stuff. But if not, be on the lookout for it. But today's about college football. We do have some good games Week 9. Syracuse, Georgia Tech has my attention, even though Syracuse is not that good. Georgia Tech is, and they are a weird wonder team. Ole Miss, Oklahoma is in there. Alabama, South Carolina should be interesting, but we'll see. Ohio State has a bye week.
I hate bye weeks, man.
Okay,
I hate them.
like, what do you do during bye weeks? Like, some people don't mind them.
I mean, what do? I want to mow my lawn and do false shit with my family.
You know, you're supposed to like get it on the books to like you do a date night this week.
We're doing that tomorrow night.
Good on you.
So boys are going to my parents' house, and I'll pick them up in the morning when I feel like it.
Oh, where are you guys going? We'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah.
We'll open with Mitchell Mountain. So Bill Reminovitz dropped a book on Tuesday. The Buckeye Brotherhood, I believe is the name of it. I've read some excerpts from it. It's fantastic. You ordered the book, didn't you?
I ordered it. It's like I'm waiting for it like everybody else because it's already sold out.
Yeah. And in the book, he detailed, honestly, what's going to end up being the most important meeting in Ryan Day's career, I think. And it's the meeting player called post-Michigan, where players needed to get things out on the floor that needed to be said. Now, during this time, Tyler, you and I weren't really doing a show, I don't think.
We were like practicing.
We were doing some rep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I had shared some things that I had heard. And I had said some things that I had heard on Menace. And obviously, people don't really view me as like hyper credible all the time. And with that kind of thing, like people thought that we were making up some of the stuff that went in there. But then the players kind of all but confirmed this meeting. And then Bill took the extra step by interviewing as many players as he could that were willing to openly talk about what went on in that meeting.
Yeah.
For me, I think this altered the course of not only Ryan Day's career, but of college football subsequently. Where are you at? What were your takeaways from those, I guess, couple of excerpts that made its way to Twitter?
I think if they do what I think that they're capable of doing this year, that will be the most important meeting in college football in the last, as a conservative time frame, 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that it's one of the more important single meetings, period. Because Tyler, think about it. How many coaches currently coaching college football have national titles?
I believe it's just 3.
Think about how crazy that is.
Yeah. I don't know where this program is right now if that meeting doesn't happen. I don't think they win a national title last year. And I don't think we see where we're at right now. You could see, like, if you go from that meeting and fast forward it to, say, spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. Fast forward to training camp. This past training camp. Ryan Day seems to feel much more comfortable in his own skin. He seems much more focused on what Ohio State's doing, more so than what other people are saying about Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Day for years has had a little bit of rabbit ears where he cares what he cared what people thought about him.
I mean, we could talk about it, not just a little bit of rabbit ears. Like Ryan Day had some crazy rabbit ears.
Yeah. He was really affected by how people in the football world thought about him. And he made decisions trying to be correct, trying to be right. And what that meeting was a get it right. Don't be right. Who cares about being right?
So for those who maybe are new to the channel, one of the things that I always accuse Ryan Day of being, based on the things I had heard, is a be right guy instead of a get it right guy. And I think when coaches do that, you run into bad stretches, bad times, right? Dabo Swinney won a championship. He wanted to be the reason. He wanted to be right, right?
Correct.
he subsequently has seen a major fall off because he was so stuck in trying to be right that he didn't get it right. And so when you try to be right, you try to force things that aren't working and try to get them to work over and over and over again, which honestly is a microcosm of what happened in that Michigan game.
Correct. He wanted to his rabbit ears heard that Michigan was saying that he's not a tough coach. He doesn't have a tough program. They're not a tough football team, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted to go prove that.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to win the game and doing what he's best at.
And it's funny because that the ground zero for those comments about not being a tough football team and kind of what happened with the Michigan stuff, it came from somebody so small and kind of ran from there that it shouldn't even have crossed Ryan Day. You know who said that? You know that the ground zero for that was Josh Gaddis.
Yeah.
Josh Gaddis with those comments was ground zero. And think about it. Like, nothing that Josh Gaddis says should impact Ryan Day at all.
Josh Gaddis couldn't sniff Ryan Day's jockstrap when it comes to calling offense.
Bingo. He got fired. They
Twice.
wanted Natty.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah.
Like, think about that, dog. Like, that was ground zero for that, and that sent Ryan Day down this course, and the breaking point was last year. And as messed up as it is to say, I think him losing that game set Ryan Day up for that meeting, and he needed that meeting. He needed it.
So one of the questions I had about this meeting is, who's the unsung hero? And my opinion is going to be a little different, but I think the unsung hero is Ryan Day. Absolutely. There are very few coaches that have reached that level that don't have a massive, massive ego. And to stand there as a grown man in front of your players that are college-age kids and allow them to verbally undress you and take it and then make the proper adjustments, that is a big deal, man. That is a hard, hard thing to do. There are very few coaches, Chris, that would do that.
I'll let you have it. I will let you have this. Because I'm not going to be the wet blanket today. I will absolutely let you have that. Who you had a thought on who the mystery player was that said, when you talk like that, we don't effing like you?
Yeah, bro. I think that was either Denzel Burke.
Okay.
Check. I think that was either Jermaine Matthews, Davidson Benosin, or Jack Sawyer.
That's who Zach and Pat came to the conclusion that it was. It makes sense because it needed to be a player that was what I call doghouse proof for Ryan Day, right?
Yeah. I don't know if Jack Sawyer would look Ryan Day in the eye and say, when you talk like that, we don't like you.
I think he would, because I think more than anybody on the team, that game impacted him personally the most.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't think it was Caleb Downs, because I feel like Caleb Downs would say that in a very different way. Like, to me, when whoever said that was very aggressive.
Yeah.
And like, who has come across as an aggressive personality?
Literally.
Those three cornerbacks that I named.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, also, it needs to be someone that if they said it would like dictate change. Like it probably wasn't him, but you know what would really dictate change? If Jeremiah Smith looks at you and was like, we don't like you when you talk like that. Because that's boy, we seen how Ryan Day is about Jeremiah.
Yeah, we know about.
Yeah, we know a little bit too much about Jeremiah and how Ryan Day feels about him.
I just don't know if I think Jeremiah's a little too quiet to say that. But if he actually did say that, that room would have gone deadly silent.
Yeah, I mean that would force the change, right? Like you said, you gave credit for like it's hard to listen when you're that level. It's not hard to listen to Jeremiah when you're that level. Maybe
not. I don't want to like, because the players. This was a player moment.
Yeah,
and that national championship team will always be remembered for those players. because Ryan Day is not going to get enough of the credit because he lost to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Natty feels not tainted, but it feels lesser than.
I mean, it's definitely imperfect.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. Tainted felt like a dirty word. Like it
Yeah,
felt like,
like you don't have to go tainted. Like I guess in linguistics, you can go imperfect
yeah.
and still like kind of get that point
You know,
across.
it doesn't feel like 2014. It definitely doesn't feel like 2002.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but again, I just like for him to go up there and get told that from a player and just like take it and learn and make the adjustments. Not just take it and stand there and just be like, okay. Like take it, internalize it, and then make the correct adjustments.
Yeah, but I will add this: we won't know if he made the right adjustments until this year,
That's big facts.
because I do think this team played with a lot of fire, and I think that this offense did get opened up, but they also get opened up against everybody except for Michigan.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of questions that are going to be answered at that Saturday after Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah,
That's going to be, I think, for us as Buckeye Nation, that game's going to feel. It's going to feel like the national championship game, because to me, if he slays that dragon, it's cooked, man. College football it's there. Everybody else is like they're screwed.
yeah. Everybody's on watch. Everybody's on notice.
So I can't wait to read the book. Once I read the book, we'll get on here and I'll share my full thoughts.
Honestly, we should just do a full book review on one of my little like one-off episodes that we drop.
Yeah, you can do that
We'll
too.
do that. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
You have this question on coaches movement
Yeah.
that I want to dig into as well, because I've asked the same question a couple times and I have my own theory on it. And the question you have typed up in the show notes is: do we think that schools will regret firing coaches with big buyouts when the money could go back into the program?
Essentially what Wisconsin decided to do.
Correct. Which, instead of paying the buyout, they paid half the buyout to invest in the program.
Mm-hmm.
I think that schools like Wisconsin, while I would have fired Luke Fickell, I think they will benefit in a way that I didn't realize they would in this era of college football, because of what's going on around them. And that probably doesn't make sense standalone. But I think schools in that mid-tier will benefit more from investing in their program than paying buyouts.
Yeah.
And I want to get your thoughts, and then I will unpack my theory a little bit more.
So I think when I think about this question, I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Does the program make the coach, or does the coach make the program?
At programs like that, the coach makes the program.
Okay. What about a program like Penn State?
Penn State, the program makes the program makes the coach.
Okay. So with that being said, I don't think that there are enough truly elite coaches out there that are worth firing and paying a 25, 30, 40, $50 million buyout to fire your current coach. How many, if you think about how many elite coaches are there? 3, 4, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And like they're all at the best jobs in the country, essentially, except for Kurt Signetti.
You know what the premium is? The premium isn't about elite coaches anymore. And this is where my belief on college football, this is the biggest change that I've not heard anybody address. The premium is no longer on an elite coach. The premium is win the big games. That's it. And when you look at things through that lens and you go chase big game coaches, then that is going to replace the stable coaches at programs like Penn State.
Well, okay. So how many big game coaches do you think there are?
I think there's more big game coaches than there are elite coaches.
Okay, let's name them.
Okay, so big game. I think it's safe to say Ryan Day's a big game coach.
Yep.
DeBoer, big game coach.
Yep. I would agree.
Dan Lanning's a big game coach.
3.
Kirby Smart's a big game coach.
4.
And then honestly, so you remove Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Obviously, you remove Sark.
Yep,
I
hasn't
think
won them.
I think Whittingham is a big game coach.
Yep,
I
5.
think I think that one matters. You know, oddly enough, I maybe it's a little bit early, but I think Fran Brown is on the cusp of being a big game coach.
I won't give it to him yet. I'm not going to include him in this list yet.
I won't give it to him yet, but I will say this: he has beaten teams in ranked matchups with greater talent than he has. So
Okay.
he's won the big games at Syracuse, but we will not have him in there for now. I think Brent Key is a big game coach.
Okay, 6.
And then let me go conference by conference. Am I missing anybody in the Big Ten?
Signetti.
Oh,
Signetti.
Sig. Yeah, Sig's a big game coach.
7.
That's 7. And maybe that's it.
I think that's it. So
7 big
so
game
we had
coaches.
7. So 7 big game coaches,
Right.
all of which are at jobs that they're probably not going to leave.
I'll give Matt Campbell big game coach too.
Okay, sure.
They play up enough to beat good teams.
Okay.
And
So of those 8 coaches, Matt Campbell's probably the only one, and I'm just talking about for this year. Matt Campbell's probably the only one that's has a chance to leave. I don't think Brent Key's going to leave.
why don't you think Brent Key would leave?
Because I think Georgia Tech is like, if he can go get himself another quarterback after Haynes King, now that program is now looking at differently. I look at it completely different. You know what I'm saying? Because like they have, you said, the most millionaire alumni in the country.
They do, but it's like their thing. I also believe in you need your millionaires to be sports fans. That's what Georgia Tech kind of lacks. Because we have billionaire Wexner doesn't love football.
Yeah,
right.
I just feel like.
So my reasoning, I think you are wrong if that's your reasoning for Brent Key, but I think you're right in terms of how you your end result is right. Your work is wrong. Your end result is right.
I just feel like if you can't get one of those coaches, what are you firing your coach for? If you can't guarantee that you're going to upgrade your coach,
don't use that word.
Fire.
No, don't use that word when we do this.
Why?
When we're talking about, we don't use the word guarantee because you can't guarantee anything. So you can't use the word guarantee when firing coaches. You fire coaches for the chance.
Okay,
right?
If you don't think that you can upgrade at coach,
yeah,
and that involves a lot of self-awareness. It involves a lot of looking in the mirror and evaluating, is my job, is my program at my school good enough to take a coach from another program, or do I think that I can evaluate coaching talent enough to find the next great coach?
Here's the thing, Tyler. When you fire a James Franklin, you don't fire him for a guarantee you can upgrade, because those don't ever really exist. You fire him for the chance of an upgrade, right? Why do you fire James Franklin? Because James Franklin wasn't winning the big games and there was enough of a break, and you want the chance of a Signetti, right? Was Signetti a guaranteed upgrade over Tom Allen? No, he's at JMU. But you fire him for the chance of it, right? Like when Florida hires Urban Meyer, you do it for the chance of the upgrade, not the guarantee. And I think that's the distinction, because right now they knew this. What was the biggest knock on James Franklin?
Couldn't win the big game.
How many big games now do you have to win a championship?
4.
That's a lot more big games than before, because before, no, not just 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Previously, it was like, okay, you got to win 2 big games in a row to win a national title.
Yeah.
So that's why you fire him. That's why I think there's more of a premium placed on winning the big game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I find it to be what Penn State's doing is they are risking their next 5-year future on this hire. Because if you get it wrong, and the chances are you are going to get it wrong. That's just the reality. And we'll see what type of program Penn State really is.
Mhm.
If Penn State's a legitimate program, they'll hire somebody and they'll go 10-2, 9-3 as well.
I
And
guess the
then
question for you is, if I hold a gun to your head and said next 5 years, there's 2 different roads. Either Penn State wins a natty with James Franklin, or James Franklin gets fired in the separate timeline and they win a natty with whoever they replace him with. What do you think is a better chance?
well, if you keep James Franklin, are you using the money that you used to raise to fire him, put it into the program? Because that's what we're asking.
I mean, I'm
Do we get to
operating
have that? Do I get to have that or no?
that money to invest in the program. Yeah.
Then I think I would.
See, and this is there it is.
And I'm not saying that I'm. And I think I want to caveat this saying like I'm not sure that James Franklin's firing was undeserved.
Mm-hmm.
I think of a program like where Brian Kelly is with LSU. We watched Ed Orgeron win a national championship at LSU.
I know that's
If
LSU.
you add some money instead of paying him whatever his buyout is a lot, putting that into NIL and getting some great players, which isn't that hard to do at LSU, wouldn't that make more sense?
But I'm asking you a point blank question. Does James Franklin, with those millions of dollars, do you think?
I don't think James Franklin wins a national title at Penn State.
So
I don't
there
think
you
James
go.
Franklin's a national title coach.
So there you go. Because what is this the exact?
And I think the reason why I wanted to ask this question because I think too many things in life are black and white. Everything should be situationally based. Like James Franklin has given us 12 years of evidence that he can't win the big game at Penn State. That's a lot. That's a lot of evidence. It's a large.
No,
right?
I don't believe James Franklin should have got fired, but I can understand the reasoning. So I think we're closer. I think, but my thing is like you don't fire him because you can guarantee an upgrade. You fire him because you think you can get a big game coach.
Well,
my subsequent thing with this, and I know we're kind of deep in like the theories of college football. My subsequent thing with this is now a new day in college football where you're going to have a pressure cooker, right? Like a pressure cooker at these big programs, right? As the Queen acknowledged that. The places that don't have the pressure cookers are going to be honestly increasingly better jobs, because when you have to build something fast, you're building a bunch of sand castles, and sand castles get torn down quickly. Meanwhile, Signettis of the world are going to be able to build year over year over year without ever having their seat get hot, while these other programs kind of tear guys down. The best thing for Vandy is if another SEC coach goes and takes that Florida job. You know why? Because that is now unstable here at Florida. They got to rebuild. Unstable at Ole Miss. They got to rebuild. And when two good programs in your conference are trying to rebuild at the same time, the team that benefits, Vandy. The team that benefits in the Big Ten, Indiana. All of a sudden, they're going to watch chaos go down in their own conference. And as a stable program, they're going to be able to feast. Illinois is going to be able to feast on being able to build a program year over year over year and not using quick fixes to try to overhaul a team or a roster.
Yeah,
it's like college basketball. In college basketball, when one and done started, what did we start seeing a lot of in the tournament? Experienced transfer-led teams winning.
Yeah.
Beating the 18-year-olds.
It's like looking at, you would go to everybody's roster, like, all right, who has the oldest backcourt?
Wisconsin, Frank Kaminsky. Kaminsky in there. I mean, that Miami team with the two seniors that were in the backcourt, like that, they were able to tear down the 18-year-olds that were all focused on the NBA because they had years of continuity together. So I'm calling it the continuity programs are going to be on the up and up year over year over year. And who are the continuity programs? Illinois, going 2 losses this year, or number 1, number 2. Indiana, continuity program. Vandy, continuity program. Those are teams that are going to be on the up with this current pressure cooker, absurd pressure cooker at the top of college football.
Yeah, I do think there is something for the new being exciting in that first year, especially with the transfer portal. But I've never believed, and I think history has told us, that living in the transfer portal is not the way to sustain excellence over year over year over year.
Yeah.
I don't think it works. It hasn't worked yet. And using the transfer portal as Ohio State uses the portal to put the cherry on top or maybe plug a hole,
Mm-hmm.
a hole, not all of them, right?
I think you could build through 2-year transfers, if that makes sense. But go ahead.
So I think if you how do you like the question I have about Indiana and Cignetti was about building this program is can you parlay this success into the high school recruiting? Can Indiana become a program that's maybe not, I don't think Cignetti needs to be top 10, but can you be a top 15 recruiting class of high school recruiting year over year over year?
And here
Because
we go.
that is how Kurt Cignetti turns Indiana into like over Penn State, over Michigan.
And this is where we agreed a year ago. I remember texting you when I was at Penn State about a year ago for my mom's speech. And I told you the last thing I'm worried about is Cignetti's recruiting. The very last thing. I know that when it's time and he goes and gets in the mud and goes and does it, he's going to be able to recruit his ass off. He just needs the success first. This wasn't a let me get success, then see if I can recruit. This is let me have success, and then I'm going to recruit really well. Yeah. Because I pay close enough attention to recruiting. The last 2 years, I've seen Indiana in a lot of really good teams, top fives, when they didn't belong there. And I made a joke one time about the clown emoji. You see the clowns and the Army generals.
Yeah.
Because they finished second for a 5-star quarterback out of the state of Georgia that Georgia wanted. And it's like, whoa, that's not supposed to happen.
That is the next step for Kurt Cignetti in Indiana.
Now I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire because you're dancing on it. You're like, well, prove this, prove that. No, in this business, it's better to be early. Is he gonna be able to recruit well or not? Is Indiana the job or not?
I think so because I think
yes, no, not I think so. Stamp it.
Yes, because I think Cignetti's real talent that nobody talks about is talent evaluation.
I think people talk about his talent evaluation. I think what people don't talk about is that he has big chops as a recruiter that nobody knows about yet.
Well, what he saw, Curtis Rourke, what he saw with Curtis Rourke, he's a MAC quarterback, dog. And I didn't think he was Big Ben or Charlie Fry. I
guess like Curtis Rourke didn't do anything for me at Indiana that shocked me, I guess. So
I thought he threw I thought he had good enough arm talent at the college level.
Yeah, no, me I think
average, I would say above average arm talent at the college level.
Okay, so I think so too. I just don't think that was a surprise because I guess I watched him at OU though.
Oh, I didn't.
So that didn't surprise me. What surprises me is more how their offensive line and defensive line, while undersized, are so perfect technically.
Well, I knew he was a good recruiter. You don't get to coach at Alabama and be a bad recruiter.
Right. Well, you know who he landed. I told you a year ago.
He landed the one.
And
the old one.
He landed the original. He landed
the original prototype.
Two biggest recruits. Well, the prototype's crazy. Two biggest recruits. While he was at Bama, two biggest recruits he got. Mark Ingram, Julio Jones.
Yeah, Mark Ingram won the Heisman, and Julio Jones was the original prototype.
Yeah. That's V1.
Until Brian Hartline found or got the main prototype.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you just gotta, if you have a kid and you're looking at receiver, you got to have two J's somewhere in there. Julio Jones, J.J. Smith. Just got to have the J's, man.
Yeah. No, interesting conversation. I definitely think I'm interested to see how when these coaches get hired, what's the language in the contracts.
Yeah, me too.
I'm interested to see how how these athletic directors are going to start manipulating these contracts to try to maybe avoid this.
Well, honestly, I think Penn State's going to wait and hope that James Franklin gets the Florida job because then the buyout becomes essentially zero. That's what nobody's talking about. I don't know if we've talked about it. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know. I think if Florida State fires Mike Norvell, James Franklin will be really good at Florida State.
I think he'd be good at Florida.
I think James Franklin would be good in the ACC.
And then the reports is that Florida preferred Marcus Freeman as their first option.
Yeah,
And
Marcus Freeman leaving Notre Dame to going to Florida would be a downgrade.
You think
Notre
so?
Dame is a better job than Florida. It just is.
I guess me and you are a little bit different on what the Florida job is.
I think Florida is in that 10 to 15 range. Probably closer to 10 than 15, but in that.
I think they're closer to LSU than that, I guess, is where I'm at. I think, and I also think SEC people feel like Notre Dame is a stepping stone job because Brian Kelly left Notre Dame for LSU.
Well, I think that is an upgrade. I think LSU is a better job than Notre Dame.
So, like, how are you so down on what Florida is as a job, but not?
Because I don't want to have to compete with two other programs on my own state.
That's fair, but like, are you really competing with them? Like, how much are you competing with them?
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, not really Florida State, but yeah, Florida. No, that's fair. That's fair. I could acknowledge that. Okay. AP poll.
Yes, came out with a playoff bracket, essentially.
Yeah. Before we get to that playoff bracket, actually, I want to ask you. I want to throw some FPI numbers to you and just get your opinion on them. The FPI believes that Texas and Vanderbilt and Missouri all have a better chance to make the playoffs than Notre Dame.
Wait, Texas, Missouri, Memphis?
Texas, Missouri, Vandy.
Oh, Vandy. I thought you said Memphis. I was like, what the fuck? Same state.
Yeah.
Texas, Missouri, Vandy over Notre Dame. No.
Isn't that weird?
How would they say that?
Brother,
that means they're saying Texas is going to run the table, which is not happening.
They think Texas has a better chance to run the table than Notre Dame.
Have you looked at Notre Dame's schedule?
I have. So
it's bullshit. They're going to walk to the playoff.
Whoa, that Pitt game in there. I'm not stepping over that. I'm a believer. We're going to revisit this one. It has BYU with a better shot to make the playoffs than Miami, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss.
Well, all right. There's a lot to unpack there because I think Cincinnati is going to win the Big 12. Cincinnati has at Utah and they have BYU at home. BYU has at Texas Tech and at Cincinnati. These are what I would call losable games. Okay, when I'm saying these, because they have other games to play, but I think they're gonna walk and win those games. So BYU is at Texas Tech and at Cincy. So their two losable games are both on the road. And Texas Tech's only game is BYU at home. And then Arizona State's, this is the key, this is the wrinkle. Arizona State's only losable game is Houston at home.
Yeah.
I think BYU gets beat twice in conference.
That'd be brutal.
And then Cincinnati beats Utah and BYU. But Cincinnati can lose to Utah. They could lose that game.
Yeah, I mean,
and still make the Big 12 championship game. There's a real possibility that I think it's Cincinnati versus Arizona State for the Big 12 title game.
And then obviously, like, you want the one-loss team to win, right? If you're the Big 12, so you get a chance for 2 in, or do you want to just guarantee your 1?
I mean, you're going to get your 1 no matter what, because the champion's going to get in.
Yeah, you're right.
So at that point, they're both. Let's say Cincinnati loses to Utah, but they beat BYU.
So you don't have Texas Tech in the mix.
I don't, because their loss is to Arizona State.
And
if Arizona State and Texas Tech have the same record, Arizona State has the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So now you're like, okay, let's say the champion is Cincinnati at 12-1. Arizona State's now 11-2, probably out.
Yeah.
Unfair, probably out, but reality is that's the way it is. So now Texas Tech is like, well, we're 11-1. So keep that in mind as we have this conversation. Texas Tech in Tyler McCormick's world at the end of the season is 11-1. They missed the championship game. So Cincinnati's in, okay? And then my pick to win the ACC is Virginia, because I think they have the best chance to make the ACC title game. So I'm taking the percentages that they're going to be there.
Have you looked into the whole Virginia thing?
I don't know how they're doing it, dude. I have no idea.
Well, not just that. So they're undefeated in the conference.
Correct, because they lost to North Carolina State in a non-conference game.
Which isn't that crazy?
Crazy. So listen to this. So Georgia Tech, their losable game in conference is Pitt at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Virginia's losable game is nobody. Their schedule is like Notre Dame's schedule. It's cake. SMU's losable game is Miami and Louisville at home. And then Pitt has at Georgia Tech and then Miami at home. Miami goes to Southern Methodist and at Pitt. I think Miami loses again.
That'd be a disaster, man, for a team that everyone thought was, they were just cool to be crowned the team to beat, right?
So my pick would honestly be Virginia versus Georgia Tech in the ACC title game. And in this scenario, let's for fun's sake, let's say Georgia Tech beats Georgia. Just for Chris Drew. Make him real happy here.
You know the last time that happened was?
No.
2014.
Oh, good times. Let's say Virginia with one loss beats Georgia Tech in the ACC title game.
Georgia Tech's in.
Georgia Tech is in.
Yeah.
Okay. Virginia's in and Georgia Tech is in.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon are in. Done deal. They're in. I think Texas A&M, Bama, and Georgia are in.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame is in because they're going to run the table. And then you have a group of 5 team. I don't really care who it is. They're going to be the 12th seed and they're going to get fucking waxed. Irrelevant. I think, and this is now the winner of the Ole Miss Oklahoma game really positions themselves well to make it as that 4th place team. I know Oklahoma's schedule is really tough moving forward, but I think their defense is legit, man. That's a really, really good defense.
They are. They're dangerous.
And they have the guy at quarterback.
Yeah.
He's like a prettier Haynes King. He's a handsome Haynes King.
Chill out, my guy Haynes. He's like he's Diego Pavia, but humble.
Bro, John Mateer is like Sam Hartman. Remember Sam Hartman from Notre Dame? Who was like,
I remember Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman from Wake Forest.
Yeah. So I think Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss has to win this game because their schedule is kind of a joke.
Well, do you want to sort of move into picks or no?
Well, sort of. Oh, I just want to have this. This is just a quick second. What I want to have happen is I want a 12-1 Georgia Tech runner-up taking the spot from that extra SEC team. That's what I want for you more than anything.
What you would need is Georgia to win the SEC. Then it's a no-brainer, right?
I think it's a no-brainer regardless. They're 12-1. You can't punish them for losing their only game in their conference title game.
And they went 12-0. Yeah, and they beat Georgia. Yeah.
Although if Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, there's a chance that they're 9-3 and they're out.
But would they qualify for the conference title in your scenario?
That's what it is. No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. Okay, if they wouldn't, then that's
Texas A&M and Alabama are playing for the SEC title.
Yeah, I guess you would need Georgia to beat Florida, Mississippi State, and Texas and Charlotte. Whoa.
Yeah, they're doing that.
What? Who are they losing to? Texas?
If they were to go 9-3, it's because they lost to Texas. But I don't think they're losing to Texas.
Okay.
So I think the ACC in my world gets 2 in. Again.
Yeah, they got 2 in last year.
In the Big Ten gets 3, the SEC gets 4.
Yeah.
Listen, when it comes to Illinois, I know we want them to be in the conversation at 10-2.
Dog, don't do this.
but I don't think you deserve to play for a national championship game when you lost a game by 50 points.
You absolutely do.
I don't think you do. I said the same thing about Ohio State in 2018 when they lost by 4 touchdowns. I said, you do not deserve to get in. You can't lose a game that badly.
If you lose to number 1, number 2, and those are your only 2 losses, you deserve to be in.
The loss to Ohio State, if they would have lost to Indiana like they lost to Ohio State, totally agree. Totally with you. But when you get bent over by 50, bro, you can't. I'm sorry. I'm just not allowing it.
You know, it's funny.
Not in my world.
Like Clemson did the same thing last year. They were about to destroy SMU off the yard and then pulled back the dogs to make sure SMU got in.
Hey, all people are going to remember is they got beat by 50.
All right. That's fine.
You just lose the right to be in the conversation.
Well, I'm championing Illinois to make the playoffs.
But I think none of this shit that I said is going to come true, though. Most of this shit I said isn't going to come true because
I mean, it's just the chaos theory, right? Like chaos is going to happen. You just got to find out which way it's going to happen.
Although when I said Virginia and Cincy, your eyebrows went way up.
They did. They
did.
All
right, let's make some picks.
Yep, let's do it. Illinois, Washington is a 4.5 point.
5.5. Sorry, no, 3.5. 3.5.
3.5.
I typed it in there twice. The line changed.
Yeah,
the line changed.
Washington's a 3.5 point favorite. I am rooting for Illinois, but I would like your thoughts on the game, and then we'll dig into it.
This is the game I'm having the hardest time picking because on one hand I have team's got to travel out west. I don't know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I think Illinois and their coaching staff are capable of recreating what Michigan did to Damon Williams.
And doesn't what Illinois does travel?
I think so. The problem is, Chris, I'm also on my other hand, on that same shoulder, it's telling me that I went 0-5 in my picks last week, picking the home favorite to win but not cover. Or sorry, I picked the road team to cover. So I'm like, man, I think Illinois is a better team than Washington. I know that in my heart of hearts that Illinois is a better team than Washington. But how many points is worth them going out west? And can Damon Williams, the athlete that he is, be shut down twice?
Yeah.
In a row.
I am taking Illinois with the points.
I am too. I don't feel good about it.
All that.
I don't feel good about it is what I'm saying. This is the point I'm trying to get to is I don't feel good about it.
Tyler did all that just to agree with me. No,
I just pulled a Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that was nuts. You almost tried to talk me into it so you could do the league course. So not so fast, my friend.
I don't feel good about it, but I'm taking Illinois and I'm, give me the points in Illinois.
Ole Miss at Oklahoma. That one is Oklahoma minus 5.5.
That one moved to 5.5. Do you think Oklahoma's defense can carry them through the gauntlet that they're about to go through?
I do.
You think they drop a game?
I think if they do, it'd be this one. This is the mad scientist matchup because both of these, Lane Kiffin, the OC, versus Brent Venables in that style of defense. This is going to be all right, here we go. This is going to be a game, Tyler, where you text me, this game is drunk. Because that's what that style of offense and this style of defense mixed together creates.
Who do you trust more on the coach, on the head coach?
Easily. I trust Brent Venables more. That's easy.
All right, so I'm assuming you're picking Oklahoma?
I don't want to, but I am, yeah.
Okay. So then Oklahoma then goes to Tennessee next week.
Yeah.
Yep. Then they go to Alabama off of a bye.
No.
Still taking Alabama. That's what I'm saying. I think
that's another theory game, right? What is Brent Venables? A college DC, right?
Yeah.
What do they do over there at Bama? It's the whole thing's NFL.
Yeah. Which is why I'm saying why I'm taking Oklahoma is they have to win this game because they're not beating Alabama. They're just not. They're not better than they are. Alabama's better coaches, better players, better quarterback, the whole thing.
Mhm.
They're not beating. They have to win. And that's why I'm taking Oklahoma to win by 10.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about that one. I think they know. I got to imagine they know.
They know what's at stake. And also, my
the
other
stakes
part
are.
of it that you have not mentioned, I think this is the least locked in Lane Kiffin's been.
Oh yeah,
Like, there's a job over there that everybody in the
a
world,
better job.
including your players, know that you are very interested in.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like Lane Kiffin to Florida is the worst kept secret in the sport.
yeah.
And to
No
me,
doubt.
that matters.
No doubt. No doubt.
You have Missouri
At
at
Vandy,
Vandy, and Vandy
minus.
is a 2.5-point favorite.
I got Vandy.
Okay.
I just think there's something about that program right now. It's going to come to an end here soon, I think. But I think this is like a very even matchup talent wise. And I think I'm going to take the home team here to win by a field goal.
I've got Missouri.
Bo Perbula.
I got Bo. I got Big Bo.
There's just something.
That
I think there's something about Vanderbilt playing at home that makes
right.
me feel like they're going to do it.
It's Vandy. This is not a Disney program. This is not. We're not doing a Disney movie. We're doing actual football. This it's gonna end, and I think it ends at the hands of Bo. I think the things that Vandy does, Missouri can also do. I think this will be the loss as soon as Vandy launches their, Diego Pavia for Heisman. I think it's over, dog. I think it's over.
I think it's
gonna be a
over for
cool, fun
Vandy next
story.
week when they go to Austin, Texas.
I think it's over now.
We'll
It's
see.
done.
I also believe that it's hard to win on the road.
No, I think so too, and I've picked home teams for the most of this, but
we both picked Illinois to win going
Yeah.
to the West Coast. So,
well, I guess maybe the Oklahoma game we spent too much time on.
yeah. I got Vandy. You got Missouri. I got him winning. I got Vandy winning by 3.
And honestly, maybe I got to mix it up because I think we're the same the rest of the way. A&M minus 2.5 at LSU. I think that A&M is going to blow the doors off of them.
I think.
Oh, the night scares you.
Absolutely, it scares. What you mean?
Ooh, that's what that was.
That's the best home. That's the best night home game advantage in college football
in the world.
Period.
Not college football on the planet.
Here's what I will say, and I have Texas A&M, but if Texas A&M allows LSU to hang around in that environment, that's a problem. But if they come out and punch them in the mouth early, those fans will leave. They'll quit on them because they're ready to quit on Brian Kelly. That fan base is absolutely ready to quit on him and turn on him, and they'll just leave.
And for the sake of chaos, a blowout at night in LSU will feel so shell-shocking.
Oh.
I really want that job to open up. I want to see what that does to the landscape.
Well, that'd be the best job in the market by far.
Yeah. And we would see people act very strange when that job opens up.
I got Texas A&M. I think there's some people saying that Texas A&M's defense isn't like Texas A&M is a very weird team to me. Like we've seen their defense play really well. Like really well.
But whenever they faced an offense with a vertical passing game, they've struggled.
Yeah, but I've also seen them like hold teams down. So it's like the thing I like about Texas A&M is right now they've shown us that they can win in a couple different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm taking Texas A&M, and I think Texas A&M wins by 17. I think you're right. I think they blow the doors off them.
And that would be fun. Yeah. That'd be a fun Sunday show with us.
Yes.
I'm excited for this week, dude. We just get to watch other teams crumble. It's gonna be awesome. Michigan minus 14.5 at Michigan State.
I have Michigan State covering, but losing.
I do too. I think that's pretty. I mean, whenever you talk about a team like Michigan winning by 3 scores, I'm just out.
Well, I also just think that Michigan State's a bad football team.
They are.
But like this is their Super Bowl. This is as big as it's going to get for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan's been talking to them real crazy. And in fairness, Michigan State's also been talking real crazy back to them.
But Michigan fans are the corniest, dude, because they talk to
worst.
Michigan State fans like this is a rivalry and then say this is not a rivalry within the same
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Like, what is it? Pick one, dog.
Yeah, you
is
gotta
it
pick
or
a
is it
side.
not?
You gotta pick a side.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Michigan wins by 13. It's kind of I think it's an ugly game, a sloppy game with some field goals, and Michigan State hangs around.
You're gonna look at the stat sheet and think that it rains no matter the weather. That's what this game's gonna be.
100%, dude.
You feel what I'm saying?
100%. So, yeah. I hope. I would love to see Michigan State win. I think that'd be freaking hilarious.
That'd be hysterical.
But I got Michigan winning by 13. Michigan State cover. So,
bang. Well,
Looking
do you have
forward
a hear me out?
no, I have. I'm gonna save it.
Save it. All right, bet.
Yeah.
That's Tyler. Wait, I'm Chris. That's Tyler.
Peace.
Done that 100 times and botched it.
Yeah.